Good afternoon. Welcome to Chris and Shannon's newsletter. We thought we would throw in a favorite recipe since we're all spending a lot more time at home. So this is the easiest bread recipe I've ever made. It is making yeast bread in the crock pot. So we'll post the recipe online as well, so you don't have to write down all of these details. But you start with 1.5 cups of lukewarm water. Just check it on the inside of the wrist. And add 1 package of active dryer yeast and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Just give that a little stir. Just let it sit for just a minute. Next step, we're going to use all of our dry ingredients, and we're going to use 3.5 cups of flour in a larger bowl, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then we add our yeast, water, sugar mixture. And stir everything up. We're going to get kind of a gooey dough, and we're going to turn it out, and we're going to knead it for a couple of minutes. So you can So then you need a little bit of extra flour. Again, this recipe is super easy. This is the only time you have to knead the bread. It goes in the crock pot. You don't have the crock pot is not turned on yet. We turn the crock pot on when we are putting the dough in it. So right now, crock pot's not on, and you just knead the dough until you have a nice smooth texture on it. And you have to add a little bit of flour around your hand so it doesn't stick, and then probably knead for 3 or 4 minutes just to build up the gluten and the fibers in the dough. And as you're pushing down, you'll know that the dough gets kind of smoother and shinier as you work it, and that's just the you can see the dough is looking fairly smooth on the outside. Now, next step is to get some parchment paper, Paris piece that is big enough for your crock pot. Set it in the crock pot so that So it's easy to, this is how you lift the bread out later. So you just now lift up your dough, put it right in the middle in your crock pot. Now turn your crock pot on high and put the lid on. Set a timer for 2 hours, and we'll come back later when the bread is done. We're back for the second step of making bread in the crock pot. The bread has been cooking in the crock pot for 2 hours, and that's 2 hours from the time we put it in and turn the crock pot onto high. So take the lid off. You can see that the dough does not look very cooked on the top. It's still quite white on the top. You set the dough on a cookie sheet, and you'll see down and below that it is browned on the bottom. So now it goes in a cookie sheet for the final browning. We'll top it with just a little bit of butter, so just to give it a nice crispy crust. We're going to put it in the oven on broil for just a few minutes till the top browns and makes it look all yummy and crispy. There we go. Beautiful bread, a clean crock pot because you've got the parchment paper in there, and let it cool about 20 minutes and it's ready to slice and serve. It toasts wonderfully, makes great sandwiches. The perfect, easy to make yeast bread. Enjoy.